The body is hardwired for path of least resistance. All we've got to do is create that environment for it to operate within. Any kind of kinetic chain action, there's a shift, there's a rotation, and then there's a push, there's vertical. And what we're looking at is the best combination for you. Most of us are putting ourselves in a place where we're disadvantaging ourselves mechanically. So like you said, if someone gives you a perfect kind of textbook position, for you, that could be mechanically disadvantaging you with how your skill set wants to react. So we're not going to say where the club should be, we're going to give the body the forces for it to use and see where it goes with it. And then...
I think that's my weakness really. I'll get here and then get flat on the turn because I'm trying to hit it from my arms here.
Okay.
I find I regress when I go too mechanical.
Okay.
That all of a sudden if I start thinking about, okay, taking it out there, because sometimes I'll come a bit on the inside, but if I start doing this, I try to get it higher at the top, I'm pretty flat at the top I think. But I think that's a physical thing, I don't think, there's nothing I can do about it. If you want to get me high, right. I'm down here. I think I'm a bit stooped, I could be high. People have started to, before have messed around with my posture. But what I found is that when I go more upright, I put too much pressure on my back and after a while I'm sore.
Yeah. Because you can end up playing golf swing and not golf. Like you say, you can start thinking about the swing. It's lovely action, isn't it? So we've got left foot, right foot.
Right.
We've got pressure in the left, pressure in the right. The combination of those, that combined pressure is here. Right. It'll all make sense as I go on. Yeah. We're going in that direction, and then that trace is that's just the trajectory that centre of pressure's making. Yep. That's just the trace there. And we've got the trace of the pressure through each foot. What we're looking at is we're looking at the lateral force, so pressure moving this way, and then we're looking at the rotational, and then we're looking at your vertical. So it's like if you were any kind of kinetic chain action, there's a shift, there's a rotation, and then there's a push, there's vertical. And what we're looking at is the best combination for you. And how can you explore using these forces to optimise the delivery of the golf club. The arms are transferring all that speed, it's angular momentum, but this is all coming from how you're using the ground. Or if we're not using the ground, we have to create this with the body. And now if your feet aren't working for you, they're generally working against you. I can twist my feet without moving this. As soon as I want to twist this, they oppose. So if I go with the body first, I get this. But if I want to go that way, I can do that. Now this can react. So the feet then become reactive to the body, whereas we want the body to become reactive to the feet. All we're concerned about with is the action, and that's the foot-ground interaction. Then we can start to see the reaction, and then we can start to explore the forces and then explore our movement capability in how we are able to react the best way. Because we all possess movement capability we've not explored, starting to action that capability as potential. But to do that, we've first got to challenge the body and see how it responds when we start to disrupt the system. We've got to disrupt this and see how your body wants to stabilise. Okay. Otherwise, we're always living in a very stable environment, and that's where kind of traditional lessons kind of places where they're creating a very kind of stable, almost practice station where it's the complete opposite to golf. In golf, we can't use stabilisers on the bike. We've got to go off road. Whereas if we practice with the stabilisers on all the time, we're not preparing ourselves for when we need to take them off, and we always need them. And then as soon as we're on some rough terrain that demands any adaptation, we're unable to because we've been practicing in such a stable environment. So we've got to destabilise the system. Because this is like your signature, basically. Yeah. And it tells a story. It's almost like your golfing history, this. What's interesting is, you're swinging back here and you're still loading into the floor. You only start to unload as you start to speed up to the top. Now this is when the athletic skill set really kicks in, because as you start to speed it up, subconscious starts taking over. Your underlying movement skill set starts to become recruited. If I gave you something heavy, you're not going to stay in the ground and lift. You're going to start to use your body. And if you want to swing it side to side, your mass is just going to move side to side and up and down. And if you want to rotate, your mass is going to start to rotate. But this always goes first, and then you've got a chain. Yeah. Because now you can let this react. And the body, we know it's got this internal TrackMan. It knows through its proprioceptive system exactly where it is. All you've got to do is put it in a fairly decent space. It doesn't have to be perfect. So you've got basically a mechanical advantage. But most of us are putting ourselves in a place where we're disadvantaging ourselves mechanically. So like you said, if someone gives you a perfect kind of textbook position, for you, that could be mechanically disadvantaging you with how your skill set wants to react. So we're not going to say where the club should be, we're going to give the body the forces for it to use and see where it goes with it. It's an instinctive awareness that you've got. You learn that the same way that you learned to walk, okay? You didn't, nobody gave you a textbook.
No.
You just wanted to get up, and I've never known anybody give up on learning to walk. All right? So no toddler's ever gone, forget this, I've had enough. And the thing is that everybody's learned to walk who's got potential to walk. So the body is hardwired for path of least resistance. All we've got to do is create that environment for it to operate within. Once you conceptualise low point and you know how you can move to create the conditions to go, you just let your body just sort itself out. So if that's the low point, when you swing, it's doing this. When you're here, your swing's done this. Then you're going to do this. You're going to, in some form, you're going to go down like you are doing. Your low point's going back round and down, and then as you push, it's going to be coming back up. And you're swinging, you're trying to catch this moving target because you're going to be hitting the ball on the way to it. So your body's working out all the algorithms here, it knows it all. All we've got to do is put ourselves in a ballpark and the body will sort it. It's a doing thing, not a thinking thing. So what we will do is we're going to jump on some balance pads, lock out your knees, extend them and just go from heel to toe like that. And as you do it, I want you just to sense it elevating you, so you're going up. So pressure's actually going forward and down, and we go that way. Perfect. This is what we want in our swing. Now what I'd like to do is just, with your legs dead straight, I want you to just twist your hips. Perfect. That's the core doing it, because the feet aren't really involved. So now we'll just start again, but this time I want you to make a little walking action. And this is how we're going to tap into your rotational force. Using that walking action, David, I want you to then use that to rotate your pelvis. Let that twist your belt buckle. That's it. So it's walking, but then letting your pelvis rotate with the walk without the upper body having to move. So you can disassociate lower body, upper body. Now if you step onto the pressure plate for me and have a look at the screen. Hi guys, just a quick message about our upcoming trip to Turkey. We've had 2 international trips already. Turkey last year, Abu Dhabi a couple of weeks ago. Fantastic successes. Looking forward to our next one, which is back in Turkey. We're so happy with that resort. We were blown away last time. The Gloria Resort, 5-star. It's 5 nights, 4 full days of coaching and playing with myself and the team. There's myself and Sam and George on the range coaching, short game, full swing, putting, and then on the golf course there's Foz and Belty for the tour player experience. You get a chance to play, practice, spend time with us, first evening meet and greet, and then every evening we all eat together, breakfast together. It's a fully immersive week in the whole coaching system. I hope you can make it. It's the 26th of March and we hope to see you there. There's 12 places, so please be quick. Just make that walking and rotation. Good. Now I want you to let your pelvis rotate, let your belt buckle twist more from side. There we go. So you can actually create a lot of rotation, a rotational force, without actually rotating the body. Slightly different feeling.
Feels like it's more coming from here.
Yeah. So,
like you say, I'm not thinking about this going back in any way. It's just.
You don't need to. What we're creating now is the opportunity to shift weight and rotate. So if we bring this in, so if you want to change the direction of your golf swing, you rock the board earlier. That's it. That was it. That's it. But you can let your arms carry on a little bit as well, so they react. Good. Now it seems a bit counterintuitive if you've got a tendency just to have a low point that's a bit far back. To think about shifting further back is like, well, this doesn't make sense. Yeah. Surely I need to stay more left. But what's going to change is that you're going to be shifting back earlier in a minute. Awesome. Feeling in the action?
Massive. I mean, the biggest thing that I feel, and you mentioned it, is time. Just feels as though you've got so much that you're out of your way yourself.
Yeah. And you've got time, David, to influence when you want to strike the ground. Yeah. You can shift more forward and release the club later if you want. You can change the angle of attack, you can do what you like. That is beautiful. Oh, that flight, that flew, didn't it? That flight.
Yeah.
More layers, that is beautiful.
Yeah, that movement was great.
Different feeling to it?
It just feels so much more dynamic. It just feels so much more aggressive.
It's like a swan on the water, right? And there's current. and the swan's there graceful underneath.
Yeah.
When the current increases, the feet have got to go more. Now, so if you've got to create more force, which is what you're doing, you've got to work harder. So at ground level, there's a lot more activity going on.
I feel as though I'm going after it.
Right, okay.
Whereas in the past, if I've wanted to go after one, it's coming from the arms.
Yeah.
Not here. It feels smooth, but it doesn't, inside it doesn't, it feels aggressive. It feels like I'm going after it.
Yeah.
As if I'm trying to squeeze a little bit more out of it. But actually not from here, where everything's going out, because I'm trying to put more speed in here.
So the origin of that source of that power's coming, it's a different place. The dynamism to it is the key. That's beautiful. So drop down here with me. That's it, just look at me over here. So this is where we are. Now, we stay loaded on the right, okay, but what we can do, we don't twist the feet, we pop up with the belt buckle, and that'll twist you. So I want you to stay on the right side and just get used to this internal rotation, twist your foot in, and then to get extension, use an external rotation when you push. That's it, and it springs your pelvis up. Perfect. That's it. Awesome.
So it's coming more from the core than the feet, really.
This is at the minute, yeah. Because we're just taking the friction away. Now we want that on the left. Drop it into your left. Keep it loaded, keep the board tipped. So you're posted up on this. That's it. Just stay on the left side and train that left side. Well done. That's it. So it's a drop in. Good, and then you can spring. And again, so stand up tall when you're here. Now you can drop into your left, and now you can spring. Whoa, that's it. That's all right. And again, I like it because you shifted. So stand up tall. That's it. Now you can drop. Now drop, 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 drop. Now you can spring up off that left. That's it. Brilliant. Yes. Look at that.
Ooh.
How's that feel?
Oh, it's like chalk and cheese, isn't it? What pleases me more than anything else is that it still feels as though I'm controlling this. Whereas the worry is when you do something like this that something's going tits up all over the place, and the club face and things.
I'm going to lose everything.
Yeah, it's going to start going here, there, and everywhere. And it's the worry about that. When I think when you take it on the course, somebody like me would go 3 holes if it.
Yeah.
Sub Marcus.
Yeah.
You go back to tight because you're competitive more.
Exactly, of course you do. Just step out here, I want you to show you how your body responds. What I'm going to do is I'm going to throw this, roll it. I don't want you to hit it, but I want you to take a step as if you're about to hit it, right? So you're about to give it some, but then you stop, you brace. At the moment,
no real backswing,
you're swinging back, then you stop when you're in that place to hit it. There, now look where you've gone. You've just done everything we've just been talking about. Because where are you going to go now?
Yeah.
Bang! So I want you to brace it again, ready? Hold it there, now stay there, now spring up off your left to swing through. So I want you to feel where that spring is. So this time, you're going to make it like golf width stance.
Yeah.
Ready? Hold it, now spring to swing through. That's it. Your body already possesses all this, but we've just layered it, and then instinctively brace it, and that spring. Ooh, yeah, good. You're going to be springing and going up as the club goes down. Well done.
Ooh.
Nice. Feel good?
Very much so.
Brilliant. That's awesome. Do you want a couple more?
No, I'm good.
Are you happy?
I'm happy. I'm knackered.
Thanks, mate.
Appreciate
Well
it.
done,
Thank
mate.
you.
Well
Cheers.
done.
Thank
Thanks
you.
a lot, mate. Well done.
No, thank
Brilliant.
you. Thank you. It's everything I hope for and more. Because it just feels more powerful. I mean, it's interesting to get back on and just look on the track and where it's taken me with a 7-iron. You know what I mean? Because I know what my speed is. And
It's also exciting that there's so much scope there for you to go and develop and explore and improve.
Yeah.
Because it's like you're already a good player and you've got very nice technique, good swing. but it's like we can start to amplify the feedback, expand on what you're already doing, but going at, like you say, explore it, get the feedback from the TrackMan, using all these feedback loops as basically guidance for how you're regulating it, and you can sense where you can go, how much you can go, and what we set in here is it's like a physical landscape for you to operate within. It's like a big movement map that's emerging, and what you've done is you've had a good one already. You're expert sportsman, so body awareness. I mean, very good. Isn't it? I mean, straight away all the exercises, switch it on. There's a little bit of rewiring naturally that needs to take place originally. That's just adjusting your coordination for these exercises. That's what needs to happen for your golf swing. But then when you get back out there on the grass and you get on your TrackMan, get it on the low point, because that's going to give you that divot. Feedback, and then you can start to get a sense of how much you can do it, and you fine-tune it yourself. It's what we were talking about earlier, taking ownership of your own learning and guiding yourself. So I'm giving you the tools and then all the applications, and then you can feed back to me as well, but really you can work the feedback with your own understanding. That's the thing. That was really good. Excellent.
Oh no, it's good. Appreciate it, really do.
Thanks, mate. It was brilliant. And then what we'll do is we'll
So I'm sitting here, thought I heard my phone ring.